My friend, John Castic, is currently missing. He was last seen at Brooklyn Mirage on Saturday at 3 a.m. He attended the ZZ concert. John's my best friend I've ever had. I'm very worried about him. We have a police report filed. I just want my fucking friend back. I love you, John. I don't know where he is. Nobody does. I love him and I miss him.
And that recording was Eamon Stenson, the best friend of John Castic, who was found deceased in the Newtown Creek on August 1st, 2023, after he was last seen leaving the Brooklyn Mirage nightclub on July 29th. I'm Lauren Conlon, and welcome to Midnight Currents, the Brooklyn nightclub drownings. We're going to pause on the Damani Alexander investigation for this episode, and we're going to discuss the tragic deaths of both John Castic and Karl Clemente, who, again, were found in the creek the summer of 2023, both after leaving the Brooklyn Mirage. I also want to state that I was unable to get in touch with any of Karl Clemente's family or friends, and I had mentioned this on an earlier episode, and the same goes for John Castic as well. However, I have spoken to some of his friends and family members, but I'm not trying to peddle any type of conspiracy or reopen any wounds that may have been healed or are in the process of healing. I just think that the deaths of these young men have to be discussed at least at a broader level, if that makes sense. But let's talk about forever 27-year-old John Castic, who was an amazingly brilliant guy. He was very successful at Goldman Sachs, where he was an analyst and loved by all of his friends. He was a big fan of the Chicago Bears, and he and his friend Eamon would meet up and watch them on Sundays. And when I spoke to Eamon on the phone, he really just said that John was pretty much the nicest guy ever, and he would do anything for anyone. And it really tore at my heartstrings as he was set to get married, Eamon, and he always thought that John was going to be his best man. I really had to hold back tears. And look, I could tell, as patient and kind as Eamon was with me, I think he really just wants to move on with his life. And, he said there's just a lot of things about John's death that we'll never understand. And after some digging and reviewing his toxicology report, I do have to agree with a lot of what he said. So on the night of July 29th, 2023, John and some friends went to the Zed's Dead concert at the Mirage. And like many 20-somethings who go to concerts, he apparently took some magic mushrooms, and this has never been reported before. I did confirm this with a family member who received confirmation from one of the girls that John went to the show with that he took some. I don't know how many he took, but shrooms are super common in New York City, and without sounding too irresponsible, if you go through the proper channels, microdosing with shrooms is considered to be pretty safe. So again, I have no idea if John microdosed or not. Mushrooms did not show up in his talk screen at all, but we'll get there. But this could also explain why it was reported that the night he went missing, he was at the club, he told his friends he was going to leave because he didn't feel good. Sometimes shrooms can make you sick. And John's family member told me, he was just a really sweet and polite guy that really hated to feel like he was putting anyone out or bothering anyone. So John left the Mirage alone. I don't know the exact time, but I know that it's well after midnight, and it was reported that he got into an Uber, but then he got right back out. And he could later be seen on surveillance footage, which, by the way, was released. I can add a link in the episode notes where you can see it, but he was seen walking calmly along Stewart Avenue from the venue and not far from where his body was recovered. And I just want to stress here that John looks completely fine, totally fine. He does not skip a beat while walking. I mean, he almost looks just upbeat in general. And as far as the media goes on John's case, that's the most that was ever reported besides the part about the mushrooms. But I later found out from John's family, who were told this by the NYPD, that two witnesses passed by in a car and saw John either at the top of this bridge or on the bridge. And this is the Grand Street Bridge. Let me try to paint a picture of it for you. It's over the Newtown Creek. It's almost like an overpass that cars drive through. So one could climb it. It might be difficult. So that's why I said I'm just uncertain if he was on top of it, like he actually turned into Spider-Man and climbed to the top, or if he was just kind of hanging out over the overpass, if you will, towards the railing. And again, I'm trying to describe this as best as I possibly can. I feel like I'm doing a horrible job. So just Google the Grand Street Bridge. You'll see what I'm talking about and how I'm unsure of his placement, I guess, which is important here. I mean, the placement would be important. So, according to these witnesses, they yelled for him to get down, but ultimately kept driving. Now, he is high up. Regardless if he's at the very top, like Spider-Man, that would be exceptionally high, or if he's on the quote-unquote bridge or street level above the water, that's also very high. I also want to reiterate, John was not suicidal. John was not depressed. This is according to his friends, according to his family. I mean, obviously, we all have secrets, but it was well known that John loved life and he had a lot to live for. So this is tragic. I mean, did he slip and fall? Was he hallucinating? So he thought maybe, oh, this will be fun to climb. Was someone else around that possibly pushed him? And I'm not trying to be conspiratorial. I am just trying to look at every possible angle. I didn't see any surveillance cameras by that area, so will his family ever really know what happened? And going back to the toxicology report, I haven't said this yet, but John did have traces of ketamine in his system. So my thought was perhaps the magic mushrooms were laced with something like ketamine. And I'd be really interested to know where and whom the shrooms were purchased from, because clearly something wasn't right. Or maybe not. Maybe the shrooms were fine and maybe John just wasn't used to this batch, or maybe he wasn't used to them at all. His friends were pretty tight-lipped about whether or not he had done them before, and I get it. I think they want him to be remembered in the highest regard, and I appreciate that, but I don't think the fact that, he did shrooms really matters at all, but I completely understand. So, there was 54 mLs of K or ketamine found in his system, which is not much. One would most likely have to be at over 150 mLs to be in what is considered a, quote, K-hole, which is a really bad place. And also, none of John's friends said that he did ketamine or he took ketamine, which is why I kind of speculated that the mushrooms possibly could have been laced with the K, but, I don't really know for certain. But John did have a lot of alcohol in his system, 0.185, and mixing alcohol and ketamine is not great. 50% of ketamine deaths have also tested positive for alcohol as well. But again, John didn't appear to have too much K in his system, and his cause of death was ruled a drowning, manner undetermined, nothing caused internally by chemicals. But also, what I am so perplexed at as well is how John appeared to be so calm when walking in that surveillance video, in that footage. And without knowing him personally, although from everything I've learned about him, it it does seem like he would most likely want to be in control or seem like he's in control. I just feel like he totally has it together. He does not look like he had been drinking at all. And I'm just thinking, okay, how did he climb up this bridge? And I also want to add, it's a very dark area. There are very few street lights or street lamps. And last summer, the summer of 2024, I did email the council person urging them to add more lights to make things safer, and they were actually already on top of it. Now, when I went to the area, it was dusk, so I didn't quite get the effect of being there super late. So I can't really speak to how it is when it's pitch black, but anyway, I really am so sorry for John's family and his friends, and personally, I think there should be cameras on or around every bridge. I mean, there are between 5,000 and 10,000 cameras in each borough in Manhattan, so I don't think that this is too much to ask. But John's death is so tragic and so perplexing, and yeah, my heart just goes out to his family because it really seems like we'll never actually know what really happened. But let's pivot now to Karl Clemente. And a reminder, I have not been able to get in touch with any of Karl's family or friends, unfortunately. So I don't have a lot of personal information, but there is a recording I want to play for you in just a bit. But according to what I have found on the internet, Karl Clemente was born in the Bronx and was living in Queens when he passed away, and he spent his days helping young people navigate mental health issues as a clinical case manager at the Advanced Care Alliance of New York. And according to Pix11, one of his friends said, quote, "He brought humor to every room he was in. He was always with his friends, and he loved Marvel, enjoyed road trips, and he took on, quote, ridiculous challenges. He was also a talented guitarist and composer, and he performed around New York City in a band." Aw, I mean, he sounds awesome. I have to say, these guys all sound so cool. This is really sad. His dad told Pix11, quote, "When I open the door to his bedroom, I'm wishing he's still there, laying down or composing songs." Ugh, that's so sad. One of his friends from college also said about him, quote, "I feel like a piece of us is truly missing. May Karl's soul rest in peace." Ugh, and Karl allegedly was turned away from the Brooklyn Mirage because he appeared to be intoxicated when he showed up. I mean, not that rare. He's in his 20s. He's going with friends to see a concert. And again, this was June of 2023. He was last seen on June 16th after he left the Mirage after being turned away. And what we know from various news reports was that Karl was last seen running through a Williamsburg lumberyard. Yes, running through a lumberyard after being turned away. Reportedly, he had alcohol and possibly THC in his system. I don't have an autopsy or a talk screen or anything like that, but this is what was reported. And the footage has never been shown to the public, this footage of him running through the lumberyard. And allegedly, his phone and his wallet were in the yard, and maybe he placed them there, maybe he dropped them. I don't know. But the media never reported which lumberyard this was, and there are quite a few in Brooklyn. But I did find this one in particular, and it's called Feldman Lumber, and it's about a 10-minute walk from the Brooklyn Mirage. So Karl, being a little drunk, I mean, I'm speculating here, most likely he couldn't get cell service to call an Uber. I know I mentioned that the service is bad, so perhaps he decided to walk a bit to try to find a taxi or an Uber. But again, it's very dark over there and it's very desolate. And trust me, Feldman Lumber is kind of a death trap in the dark. There is steel boards and beams all over the place, and it's not a place you can just run straight through. It's almost like an obstacle course. I really couldn't get over it. And At the very back of the yard, there is a wall kind of acting like a fence. And on the other side of that wall slash fence, there are some large drainage rocks. And then there is the nasty water of the Newtown Creek. So keeping all this in mind, I'm going to play a recording I did with an employee that I met who worked there. And God bless this man. He was so willing to talk to me. I was so random. Out of the blue, I think I had heels on. He was just like, who the hell is this girl? But he works with someone very closely who saw the footage and told him exactly what he saw. And I apologize, this audio is not the best. It's a little, it's a little splicey because I kind of stopped and stopped filming and started again. So again, just be kind. And at one point, this very creepy cat darts by me and I scream. So it's a little all over the place, but bear with me. It's very interesting. Thank you. So, one of the men was seen running through a lumber yard. Was it this lumber yard?
It was this one.
It was this one.
Yes.
Did you happen to see the footage?
No, I didn't see the footage.
Can I get you on camera or no?
I mean, you can if you want. It don't matter.
I don't know where this is going, but right now, but
I didn't see the footage, but I heard what happened the next day.
So, and they said he was running through here. He lost his wallet somehow.
He ran through here. He left his wallet right over there where that truck is at. Dropped it over there somewhere. Ran into the metal yard, and there's a wall over there. He climbed up the metal and jumped right over and probably hit the rocks and
Is that confirmed? He climbed a wall?
Yes, they got it on camera.
But we never saw it. The public never saw it.
Well, they have it on camera.
Who's they? The police?
The company has it on camera.
Oh, the company does. He climbed the wall?
Yeah, it's like a little wall, like a little metal wall, like that one.
Yeah,
But it has something in front of it. Stacked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has something stacked in front of it.
Okay, got it. And then I'm shocked. What would he be running from? Perhaps like
I don't know. They said something about a club.
Yeah. He got denied from a club.
He got denied from the club, and something happened over there, and then he just started running like something was chasing him.
Right, and so there are rocks on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, on the other side of the fence.
So it's not just water. How did he get in the water?
Rocks.
He would
Probably dropped onto the rocks, got knocked out, and then fell into the water.
Could you show me? Do you mind the wall?
You want to take a look?
Yeah. Do you mind? Okay. Thank you so much. Let me just tell the text. This is intense.
Yeah, he ran over here. Probably put his wallet like on something like this.
And they found his phone too.
Yeah, they found his phone. And,
oh my gosh.
That's the wall over there. That's one of the walls.
Oh, this.
It could have been that.
There's no way he can.
Yeah, he can jump over that. Metal stuff and then jump over.
So all the metal stuff was here.
Yeah, all the metal
so
stuff.
He.
See how they piled it up?
Yeah, but he was drunk and he had some
might have been drunk
THC in
and
his
high
system.
or something, but
that
he jumped
doesn't
on
make
that.
you.
Boom, 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 and jumped over like something was chasing him. I don't know what it was.
Let me. Sorry, this is so. Okay. Thank you. Holy sorry, I was like, this is so creepy, and then a weirdo. Yeah, okay.
And if you come like right here, you can see the rocks. There's rocks.
Can
right
I just?
back there.
Can you pretend like you didn't see me climb?
No, you can just go right here. You can see the rocks.
Oh, okay.
You go right there. Just watch your legs.
Oh, thank you.
There's rocks right there. Look, if you look right there. Open it up. Rocks right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Got it.
That's the rocks.
It is not easy to get in this water. Okay.
Got it.
Wow. So that guy was so nice to talk to me, but I want to go back to something that he said about Karl's wallet. You obviously can't see anything, but in the video, he told me that he thought Karl, quote unquote, placed his wallet, quote, here. And he kind of pointed to a flat surface of like a steel board where Karl could easily place his wallet. But I think that many of us were under the impression that his wallet possibly fell out because he was running. I mean, the footage shows him running. So why would he take the time to place his wallet somewhere neatly, I guess? I really have a hard time with that. I mean, I obviously lots of questions. Was someone chasing him? Did he think someone was? How did he get the strength to climb over this wall? And yes, what this guy said, that was my initial thought. He climbed it, hit his head, rolled over, and fell in. But Police said when they recovered the body, there were no signs of trauma or foul play. And I would think he would have some kind of head wound that initially they would be a little disturbed by, but who knows? Again, I don't have any information on autopsy or, even the case file yet. And, did Karl have anything else in his system like John did? His death was ruled a drowning, but an accidental drowning. Is it possible that maybe Karl had other drugs in his system, like the shrooms that didn't show up in a tox report? And possibly, were people getting these shrooms from the same place in Brooklyn? Were they getting them at the Mirage? I mean, I am not accusing anyone of anything here. I'm just asking questions. Remember, the Mirage is closed, and New York City nightlife was previously under heavy scrutiny after James Caban was caught blackmailing restaurant and club owners so they wouldn't get shut down. If something happened and they would just say, hey, or James would say, hey, just pay me cash and I'll make it go away. So we'll dive more into that on the next episode. But for now, if you know anything about the deaths of these three men, please reach out. Lauren at popcrime.tv, because again, I keep thinking here, if it's not something completely nefarious, I mean, is it an issue of public safety? And at this point, I'm kind of just talking about John and Karl. Damani, I do feel like he's kind of in a league of his own, because I really, really have this gut feeling that something happened and foul play might be involved. Again, I know I always say this and I'm a broken record. I'm open to all, but that is just where my head is at right now. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Hold your loved ones tight, head on a swivel, and I'll see you next time.